Hello, lovelies. It's Victoria. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I should probably be taking a nap because I got up really early today to go to a psych appointment, and then I ended up being late to it, and they ended up not being able to see me, so I had to reschedule because I snoozed for 15 minutes when I shouldn't have. So I should be taking a nap, but I think I'm going to film a video instead because I am just so dedicated to my hobby and my craft, okay? I am wearing my headphones, but I can't really actually hear myself in my headphones, but apparently the audio is picking up, so this is really freaking weird. Ah, there we go. Ha ha ha, there she is. So I have 2 videos filmed already that I need to edit, and they're kind of on the longer side, and they are a little more complex when it comes to editing, and I am excited about them, but I wanted to do something that was like a little more straightforward, a little more simple. It's probably still going to be surprisingly long because I am a yapper. This is also kind of a recent addition to my video idea list, but I've been thinking about making it for a while, so this is just going to be like a random little personal kind of story time on why I don't shave my armpits. So this is why I stopped shaving my armpits. And people in my life have basically said, like, you don't owe anyone an explanation, and haters gonna hate, and they're fucking very dead and whatever, but this actually kind of like means a surprising amount to me. It's kind of an emotionally significant topic. It doesn't sound like it would be, but it is, in a way, and we'll get into it. And I don't know, I just kind of thought I'd have it on my channel for the people that care to listen. I know people that want to make jokes about it or don't care are going to say whatever they want to say anyway, and that's fine. But for people that allow themselves to be informed about it, that would be cool. We'll just get into it. So this is, I obviously, don't owe anyone this information. As I mentioned in my James Charles Part 2 video, whether someone's telling me or the proverbial you to shave your body hair or not to shave your body hair, I feel like the appropriate response is fuck off, because that is your life and your business and your body hair and your way of expressing yourself, and you don't owe that to anyone. I've gotten comments in the past regarding my body hair, like just a few, and one of them was like obviously trying to be mean, and it had like vomit emojis with it. And I actually like released a video response for a second, but then I was like, you should take that down because like people literally don't even deserve the mental energy that it took for you to make that video. And I was like, you know what, you're totally right. But it's kind of like a larger issue at this point that I don't know. I just feel like talking about because it has to do with my life. But then I've gotten other comments that seemed like the person was trying to be helpful. It was on a singing video, and someone that was like complimenting my singing and actually seems like a supporter and seems like sweet was like, this was really good, but like your armpit hair was visible in this. And it was like, I wasn't trying to super obviously show it or anything. I was in like a normal sleeve shirt, and it was just visible, and kind of like pointing it out as if I wouldn't want that to be visible. It kind of felt like, like when your friend tells you that something's in your teeth or something like that. So I just wanted to kind of address that, like, that's not something that I try to be embarrassed about or try to hide. I do still feel kind of an intrinsic, I don't know the word for it. There are times that those conditioned responses towards it kind of come up, and I'm aware of if it's really visible, I'm like, oh, people are probably going to comment on that. That's going to be like the only thing people comment on, and I will kind of alter my behavior because of that. Like my Fate of Ophelia video, I can't remember if it was the first version or the full showgirl version. It may have been the first version in the black dress, where I actually got a take that I really liked, but my hair was like behind my shoulders, and so when I lifted my arms and stuff, my armpit hair was super visible, and I actually refilmed the video with my hair kind of covering my armpits a little more so that it wasn't as visible, just because I was afraid that all of, or at least like a lot of the comments would be just about that, would be just focusing on that. So I have noticed to an extent that I will kind of alter my behavior sometimes to cater to anticipated comments about that, and I'm not super thrilled about that still, because it is kind of a waste of energy. But all that to say, there are 2 main reasons why I don't shave my armpits. One of them is physical and one of them's emotional. But I'm gonna get into the background really quickly. Well, basically, I stopped shaving my armpits I honestly forget what year. I want to say 2019. I feel like it was likely before the pandemic, but I'm not 100% sure because it has been a really long time. It's been a really long time. I have shaved them at moments since then. Like, my photo set for my EP Tiny Sailboat never ended up going on my Spotify, and I should probably post them on my Instagram and see why they didn't go to Spotify. But if you look at those photos, I have like poses where I'm lifting my arms and stuff, and my armpits are smooth because I did shave for that day. And there are probably been a few times also that I've shaved. And I'll also trim the hair every now and then, but for the most part, I don't shave. And I basically haven't for years. Like, at least, I want to say like at least 5 years. I haven't like regularly done that in a long time. And I think moving to the Pacific Northwest had a lot to do with it. I'm from Arizona originally, just outside of Phoenix, and moving to Oregon did affect kind of my lifestyle in a lot of ways. I basically never wear bras anymore, like regular bras. I pretty much only wear bralettes, and I will just kind of go braless a lot of the time. I stopped shaving my armpits, and those are kind of the main things. I also like stopped wearing skinny jeans. That was a big thing. For some reason, I just kind of internalized the idea that like my only option was to wear skinny jeans, which just were constricting, and I didn't feel physically great in them, and I didn't love the way I felt in them. I didn't love the way they made my body look in them, but for some reason it wasn't until I was like 18 and moved states that I realized like, oh, I don't have to do this. Like, this is not the only option. And it was kind of similar with shaving my armpits and wearing bras and stuff like that. But kind of backstory, I was like attached to the idea of shaving at an early age, especially my legs. I was like one of those kids that kind of really wanted to grow up, and I was always really into like makeup and beauty and girliness, and I loved like taking baths and showers, and I loved kind of like making potions, and accidentally gave myself an allergic reaction from like using too many of my mom's skin cleansers at once. I also think I was allergic to something in it, so I think that was part of it. But I wanted to wear a bra, I wanted to shave my legs, and I was like fascinated with puberty, and I learned a bunch about it. And then later on, when I actually went through it, I was kind of regretted that and was like, I want to be a kid again. Right, I still was a kid, but you know what I mean. But like I said, I grew up in Arizona in the desert where it's super hot for like 85% of the year. And so it is shorts and tank top season for about 85% of the year. So I was kind of naturally incentivized to shave my body hair, and I didn't really realize that it was an option not to. I was just kind of conditioned with everything that was just like what you did. Yeah, so around 2018, probably when I moved to Oregon, I embraced the more hippie leaning parts of my personality and how I wanted to express myself, and it just felt more honest for me to not wear the tight jeans and to not shave my armpits and stuff like that. Ironically, though, I did start brushing my hair more regularly, which that was something that I hadn't done a lot when I was like a kid, but I got better at brushing my hair as I got older. But like I mentioned, there's a more physical reason and a more emotional reason. So the more physical reason kind of behind embracing the decision to not shave my armpits once I realized it was kind of an option is I've always really easily gotten razor bumps on my armpits. I feel like my skin there is kind of just naturally more sensitive. And also I think without having hair there, I don't exactly know how this works, because you'd think without hair there it'd be easier for the skin to not get clogged, but also kind of it makes sense. I'd get like really painful razor bumps, and also my sweat glands would get clogged really easily, and so I was just like pretty much always had kind of either leathery feeling bumps or like really painful kind of pimply bumps all over my skin. And I would get like, I don't know if I really got ingrown hairs that often, but like it was always just irritated, and I would get like overstimulated with the process of shaving, and it didn't feel good. I didn't like it. And also without having hair there, I would just always feel my sweat when it dripped down my body, and it would drip down the sides of my body, and like it just felt disgusting. I did not like it. So then the emotional reason is pretty much like as significant as the physical reason. And the short answer is I wanted to reduce the power that it had over me and that it had over like my perception of myself. So a specific memory that affected this was when I was 15 years old. I was in a school play. Do I want to say the school play? I might edit this out. I don't know. I was in this musical called The Drowsy Chaperone, and I played the title character. I was the Drowsy Chaperone. My main solo is called As We Stumble Along, and it's like this rousing anthem. And one of the days that I was doing this, I was in like a tank top as part of my costume, and I always kind of settled on a different pose to finish the song. And basically, like, the premise of this musical is that like the musical is taking place kind of behind this guy, the narrator, because he's playing the musical on a vinyl record, and then it's like taking place around him. But there was basically a lot of moments where you would like act and sing and whatever, and then you'd stand and like freeze. There was a lot of kind of staying in one pose as the narrator talked and did his thing. And the narrator was on stage for like the entirety of the show. He was incredible. The dude that played the narrator, fun fact, when we went on for this like high school musical theater awards and we won best musical, normally the people that'd be nominated for the individual awards were seniors. Yeah, seniors, but he was like the only junior nominated for best male solo performance because he was that good. So our teacher nominated him, or a director. But anyway, so I settled on this pose because this was like a rousing kind of like badass anthem. I settled on a pose where I had one of my fists in the air, and I think I had like my other hand on my hip or something. And I remember like I felt really good about how I had performed this song. I remember being like, I did the note well. My technique wasn't where it is now, so I would kind of push my voice a lot, and the higher notes, like I try to sing them from my chest voice, and it wasn't always the best. I hadn't really developed my head voice yet and how to access that part of my technique. But I remember being like, everything was good. I remember being like, everything was good. Everything was solid. Every note felt good. My breath control was good. Like everything was solid. And just in the moment, I'm in the performance, I feel it, and I hit this pose with my fist in the air, and then I have to sit there for like a few minutes as this guy is like talking about, you know, whatever, talking about the song that I just did and what it meant to him and everything. And I don't think I will ever forget this. After just delivering this amazing performance that I felt really proud of, I put my arm in the air, and then I realized in my head, I'm like, oh fuck, when was the last time I shaved my armpits? And then you're in this pose and you have to stay there. And I was like, what do my armpits look like right now? Can people see my armpits from the audience? Are they noticing? Are they laughing at me? Like, what are they thinking? And like, after just doing this thing that I was really hard, and giving like a performance that I felt was like a standout, and I was like, I did everything right. I feel so good about it. My focus completely became absorbed in, are people looking at my armpits? What are they thinking about my armpits? I didn't shave my armpits. Like, it sounds sad to say, but it kind of like killed my sense of pride that I just had in this performance that I gave because of the way that my fucking armpits looked, because I suddenly became so self-conscious about what people were thinking about my armpits. I was absorbed in like, is it visible? I mean, is it that bad? Is it like the shadow visible? Like, completely absorbed in this moment. And I had to sit there for like 2 minutes, just suddenly embarrassed. The word embarrassed feels like very vulnerable to me, and I don't like using it very often, but like I felt very vulnerable. I felt very vulnerable and very self-conscious, not knowing what people were able to see and what people were thinking about my armpit hair. And it took me a little while after that, like a few years, and then I think everything converged with me moving to Oregon, and I realized I wanted to make a conscious effort to not let my absorption with that and my concern with people's perception of my body hair. I don't want that to kill my pride anymore, or kill like my pride in a performance that I did, or something that I did because of the way that my armpits looked. Like, I wanted to make a conscious effort to accept that about myself and not be so absorbed in that standard that had been conditioned into my brain. And like I said in the beginning of this, I still have moments where I will let that affect my pride in a performance, or I will let that affect my behavior, to where I've refilmed things before because I'm like, oh, my armpits are too visible and people are going to make comments about that. Like, I still will be concerned about it. And that is something that like I want to continue to work on. But it's not a political thing. It's not any, but it is it's a personal thing. It's an emotional thing. It does have to do with the kind of beauty standards and ideas of femininity and like the right ways to present yourself that have been absorbed in my brain. And I've had moments where I kind of let that kill my joy and my presence in the moment, and being able to be proud of myself over something really superficial that doesn't actually matter. And I still, to this day, I love glamour and I love grooming and I love beauty and everything. I don't really wear makeup super often, or as often as I used to, but I still love it. I love being girly and feminine, you know, whatever that means to you. But my version of femininity involves pretty much minimally grooming my armpits, and that's more physically comfortable for me. And I feel like that aligns with the level of self-acceptance that I'm trying to work towards in this point in my life. So like, I shave my legs still, just again because that's more physically comfortable. Like, even in the winter I shave my legs because I don't like the feeling of like prickly legs against your bed sheets. If you know, you know. If you grow them out, then eventually it gets comfortable. But like, I just don't really like how they look. I don't like how they feel. Like, I like having shaved legs, but I've just decided I am okay with having hairy armpits. And that just is what it is. And sometimes I'm not, but I've decided that I want to be. And that's something I want to continue to work on being okay with, because it matters to me. So there is my little random soliloquy. I don't know if I'm using that word right, about why I decided to stop shaving my armpits, and why, for the most part, I kind of keep my grooming of them to a minimum. So if you're still here at the end of this video, thank you for listening. It probably seems kind of random, you know, on paper, but it actually, like, yeah, it kind of means something to me. So I appreciate you. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. For more amazing content like this, hit the notification bell so you get notified when I post. I am posting short form content pretty much every day at this point. It's like always singing related, pretty much. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.